this morning, despite having a cold. I woke up really early. I don't feel particularly bad, I just don't have a voice. So I thought I'd go and catch a sunrise. But unfortunately, doesn't seem to be one. It looks like it's going to be foggy when I get there. But anyway, I'm interested to know if I'm going to feel any better after I've been for a swim. From the information I can find online, it's all about not going swimming because you might infect someone else. But as there's no one else about, I'm fairly happy that I'm not going to infect them with my cold. So I'm going to get in anyway and see if it makes me feel better, because one of the things about having a cold is that you just feel kind of glum and you just feel a bit rubbish. So I know that swimming makes me feel good, so let's see if that combination lifts my spirits a bit. Although I don't think it's going to do anything medical to fix my cold, but I also don't think it's going to make it any worse. One thing I will be doing though is not staying in so long, so it'll just be a little bit of a dip, but hopefully enough to put a smile on my face. A refreshing 15 minutes in the water. I'm hoping that it has some kind of benefit in making me feel better all day long. I'm not particularly snotty, so I didn't need to kind of clear my sinuses or anything as gross as that. I just felt like getting in to put a smile on my face, and it's certainly done that. And it was a really lovely way to start the day, and like I say, I'm hoping my voice comes back soon. I guess we'll see how well it comes back over the next few days and how my voice pans out in the video. Now, I've checked what the internet has to say about swimming with a cold, and it seems I was okay to get in yesterday, which is kind of proves the fact that I feel fine today. What it does say is that if your cold is from the neck upwards, then going swimming is okay. But if it's further down than that, so if you've got a big throaty cough or some kind of problems in your chest, then definitely swimming's not the route forwards. One thing it does say when it's talking about the symptoms of cold, you know, runny nose, headache, sore throat, it doesn't mention laryngitis, which is obviously what I've got. So I looked that up as well, and it says that could be a symptom of cold, which I know because I get it every time. But one of the things it says to do about laryngitis, apart from resting your voice, is to gargle in salt water. I mean, what better location than the sea to do that? So I'm back down again, and I'll decide when I get down there. It's not as nice conditions today with the wind is onshore, so it's likely to be a fair bit colder as my arms come out of the water. So it might be that actually I decided against the swim this morning, so I've brought some stuff down with me so that I can do a litter pick instead. So let's just see how I feel. Well, this is a fair bit windier than yesterday. What I'm going to do while I decide whether or not to get in for a swim is use this bag and do a little 2-minute beach clean. That way I'll know whether I'm happy enough with the temperature to get in the water, and I've done something useful with my time as well. Here we go. Well, that didn't take long, and this is what I've managed to find. I'm smiling, but it's not that great that I can pick up this much plastic on what is ostensibly a pretty clean beach in just a couple of minutes. But it has done its job, and actually I've decided it is okay to get in. It's not too cold, so I'm gonna hop in the water. I'll keep the bag for next time. While going for that swim, I do feel nice and bright and wide awake, and yeah, a fair amount better than I did getting in. One of the plus sides of having a cold, and it is kind of a plus side, is that you feel so rough you have to go to bed early. But that had me awake at 4 o'clock this morning, so I've been twiddling my thumbs since then, so it's a good job I managed to get down here. And while I was getting dressed, I managed to find a little bit more rubbish to put in the bin on my way out. Better get going. So this is day 3 of swimming with my cold. So far I'm feeling fine, and it feels like my voice is coming back a bit. That's probably from resting and not from gargling seawater. But anyway, I'm going to get in for that 3rd swim now. How are you finding it? How's the first swim at the test?
Very good. Much nicer than I expected.
Cool. That's the end of my 3rd swim with this cold, and I feel like I'm coming out the back end of it. So you can tell from my strengthening voice that I think I'm getting better. I really don't think that swimming has had a detrimental effect at all. In fact, I think it's had a positive impact in that I have felt much better and more chipper through this cold than I have for any previous one. So 1 win to outdoor swimming for that. However, it's got to be down to personal choice. Whether or not to swim when you've got a cold is totally up to you. Think about how you're feeling. If you're feeling really, really rough and you haven't got any energy, then maybe not, it's not for you. If you've got a cold from the neck upwards, then maybe it might give you a little bit of relief from those symptoms. But if it's from the chest, then no, give it a rest. So I hope this has been useful. If it has, please click the like button and drop me a comment. Let me know if you think that outdoor swimming has stopped you getting colds, for example. I always feel that I don't get as many colds now that I swim outdoors. And also hit the subscribe button. I'd love to have you along, and I'll see you next time. Bye.